What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to 303 Streets. My name is Brandon Lechuga. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. So today we're working on putting a roof on our Kawasaki Teryx. This is the KRX 1000cc Special Edition. That being said, a few different things after our first run taking it out. We took the KRX out and the regular Kawasaki 800 Teryx. But what we realized is a few different things. This one needs mud flares, as you can see. And two, we need a roof to keep the sun off of us because you do not want to get beat by the sun all day. So I started looking online and everything I found was 200 plus. So I kind of looked at some stuff. I found one that I really liked, but it was 300 and it was just like tempered glass or plexiglass. And it was tinted so you can, still see through it, get the sun in, but you don't get sunburned. So I figured instead of spending that much on it, let's try to build one. So here's where we're at. I wish I would have been taking video before this. But anyways, this was a 4x3 foot sheet. Here's the pieces that we cut off. As you can see, they were leftovers. Some right here and a piece over there. So sorry I didn't record that. Excuse me. So what we did to get started was, so as you can see, this side is completely straight. This side is a little bit curved because it's the back. So we went over here, we lined up everything right here to this corner, and then we went straight across and then took a Sharpie, went underneath and kind of traced it out. And then that was our rough configuration with it. So that's what we have here. We just test fit it and it fits pretty good, pretty snug. No real overhang or anything like that. So it's pretty flush mount to this. And then again, it's flush mount and then it works its way back into here. So like I said, it'll come out and then it kind of goes in a little bit, goes back, and we make our way around and then it goes across. So I can use this as a hole and this as a hole. You can also use this one, but we might do that. We're not sure yet, but I use this on both sides and then I use this one on both sides. You can also put a hole right here. That also works, but this one is the best. So that being said, what tools do we use? So you're gonna need a drill and you're gonna need a jigsaw. The key is that we used a wood jigsaw saw blade, and then we set it to the mode that we needed it on. So that way it goes very slow, very careful, and it doesn't crack it. That being said, we did crack it, as you see right there, and then the rest of these are scratches. That's a crack, and that is a crack. But what's gonna hold this together is we're also gonna put tint over it. So we might go really dark and do like 5% to keep the sun out. We haven't decided yet. We're gonna have to look around and see what shade of darkness we wanna go with, or a UV rating. But again, key on this is to go very, very, very slow. That was the first crack I did. And then that one and that one. So these happened, actually all three of them happened because as I was cutting, I think it might be this piece. Yeah, so as I was cutting, as you can see, it started to droop like that. So to prevent crackage, make sure you support the end after you cut it so that it's not putting stress like this and have it bowing, and then when you're cutting it breaks. So unfortunately, lesson learned right here. And right here, I'm not sure exactly how that happened. I might have been going too fast, but that one was definitely from letting it sag. So the rest of the way out, we made sure it wasn't sagging, so no other cracks. And yeah, so that's how to cut it out. That's the saw we used. This is the plexiglass. This is pretty thin. I would recommend getting thicker, but they didn't have what we needed thicker, so we ended up with this. But that being said, we got some bolts, some washers, and yeah, and some nuts. So we're gonna finish drilling these out. I'm using this little tool right here. I cannot for the life of me remember what this is. I'll put it in the video when I remember the name. But this is technically for cutting metal, but it works really good on plexiglass and it doesn't do any damage or cause any cracks. So I'll kind of show you really quick. Again, the key with this, go slow and don't press too hard. This bit will do all the work for you. As you can see, it's literally doing all the work for me. This is gonna be the easiest part of it, is doing this. So obviously it needs to be a little bit bigger. So I'll make the hole a little bit bigger. But super easy, like I said, just let it do it up. Don't press too hard, because if you do, you could end up cracking stuff, and you don't want to do that. So nice and slow, and this almost fits. So I'll finish getting that out. But yeah, so here's where we're at so far. We're gonna test fit everything. I'm gonna finish doing that hole, and then we'll show you what it looks like on the roof and how we're assembling it. All right, here we are. So this is test fit with it on. So as you can see, there's a bubble up front a little bit. It's mainly because of the mirror. So if I wanted to fix that, I could cut a slit and loop my mirror through this and have it sit really flush. But that's not really an issue that I'm really too worried about. And again, we put some, as you can see, some padding so it's not rattling too bad. I'll add more of those a little bit down the road. But here is the test fit of it. So again, it is gonna rattle. It isn't super thick, but we'll add more little pads like right there to give it a little bit more clearance and then not bounce around and hit as much. But that's mostly the noise you're hearing is the bolts, since they're not bolted down. And again, when we do that, we're not gonna go super tight or super hard on it. Just enough to keep it from rattling around too much and stuff like that. So I'm probably gonna put a washer on the top and the bottom. These are kind of spread out. So again, the weight gets spread out, or the pressure will get spread out evenly. So it's not really crushing it. And then yeah, we're gonna test fit it, bolt it down, and then eventually I'll make sure everything's lined up too. Checking this side that is lined up, make sure the back is lined up. Go to the other side, do the same thing before I bolt it down. Looks like this is back a little bit more. Scoot it up a hair. And this is pretty flush. And right here is pretty flush. So yeah, it's pretty good. Again, for all in, this was $60. That's including all the bolts and the plexiglass. The tools, obviously, you'd have to have those. But again, it doesn't look horrible. The only thing I would change is I would maybe have a support right here, but as you can see, it doesn't droop in the middle really. So it's really not an issue because it's not drooping. But it would be nice to have some sort of support going across there. If you could get something metal and then kind of loop it around right here and then drive it across, it would really not shake as much and be a little bit more controlled. But for a little DIY, this isn't too bad. So what I meant was kind of like this, how this one has a beam that goes across right there. It's got some pads on it, as you can see right there, to keep it from rattling. So maybe makeshifting something for that to keep it from rattling too much would be the only change. So yeah, I guess just stay tuned for other videos to come, and hopefully get this out to test it soon. And when I tint it, I'll upload another video showing you it tinted. It's gonna be really easy. Unfortunately, I can't find like a 4x4 sheet that's not crazy expensive, so we'll see what I do. But I have a few ideas. So, but yeah, thank you for watching 303 Streets. Again, we're just trying to build this up a little bit. So the next thing that I think is a must is gonna be some mud flares on the front and the rear, because as you can see, it tossed mud everywhere. And this is actually the interior after it's been cleaned with mud everywhere still. So that's definitely gonna be the next thing. So the key to washing either the windshield or the top is gonna be to make sure you do not, there's always water on it. Soapy water, I try to blast it off with soap water before you start scrubbing it with a cloth. So like this needs to be rinsed off with water and then soap water on top of it, and then kind of let it do its thing, rinse it off, and then get a fresh cloth, fresh soapy cloth, and then you can scrub it down without getting too many scratches. So that's gonna be the key for the roof and this. But yeah, thank you for watching 303 Streets. I hope you found this video helpful. Again, I'm just gonna use some of my washers really quick. I'll show you. Washers, some of the bolts, and or some of the nuts, and then just tighten it up and good to go. So yeah, again, thank you for watching 303 Streets. Again, we're gonna be doing a little bit more to this. We saw some pretty cool lights that might go in here. We're not sure yet if that's, again, that's not priority. Priority was the roof, the windshield, and then definitely mud flares now. Oh yeah, and the mirror. So yeah, but thank you for watching 303 Streets. Sorry for rambling on so much, but if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for a lot more videos to come. Thank you and have a good day.